What's up, Fros? We're gonna start this journey off with my early stages, and just like any typical little black girl, I was that girl that used to always beg her mom for the simple ponytails or puffs to go to school, but instead would get the barrettes and the ribbons. I do remember my mom constantly complaining about how hard it was to take care of my hair. Obviously, around this time, most of our parents had no idea how to take care of natural hair. That being said, I got my first relaxer in either the 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade. And this style that you see on the screen is how I wore my hair like 90% of the time. Middle school was when I was trusted enough to style my own hair. I would go into the salon regularly for a wash and or a relaxer. But other than that, I was wearing my hair out every day for school. I even made the executive decision to get my bangs cut one time. I don't want to talk about it. Throughout freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year, I switched salons over to a Dominican salon where I would get my blowouts, and I feel like this was the height of my relaxed hair journey. By senior year, I feel like my relaxed hair was looking its absolute best. After high school, I began to wash, blow dry, and trim my hair all by myself while I was away at college. And with that, I would notice little things that kind of rubbed me the wrong way about my hair. One being that there was always one side of my hair longer than the other, and I would have to correctively trim it pretty often. Plus, my hair was starting to give me very much thin vibes when she has always been the thickest feature that I had. That's when I started looking into better hair care methods for relaxed hair, and I got introduced to stretching my relaxer. If you don't know what stretching your relaxer means, it basically is extending the period of time between relaxers. This, for me, would promote thicker hair growth because of the new growth that you're accumulating. Unfortunately, that idea for me was shut down pretty quickly by my hairstylist. She let me know that she was not trying to treat my type of hair, and that was my cue to officially transition to natural. My transition, all in all, was effortless. If my hair wasn't in a slick back low pony or bun, it would be in some braids. And after a lot of comparison photos and me snipping my hair here and there just to see my curl pattern, I ended up big chopping in April of 2017, 11 months after my last relaxer. Year 1 was dedicated to simply getting to know my long-lost natural hair texture. I had to basically get to know her because I didn't even remember what my natural hair looked like at this point. I did wear my wigs for the most part when I was out and about in public, but I thoroughly enjoyed my wash day sessions. They were so easy and so low maintenance, and I looked forward to trying out new hairstyles every time. During year 2, I promised myself to embrace my afro a little bit more by wearing it out more often. By the end of that year, I noticed some raggedy ends that needed a dire trim, and that's what I did. In January of 2019 is when I got my first silk press and corrective trim as a natural. And for any new naturals out there, just know getting a silk press is literally for the trim because the press part of it does not last. Year 3 was the best year so far in my natural hair journey. My hair was thriving. I would keep it in a puff for most of the time, and I would also protective style here and there. Wigs were my favorite, and I noticed that braids would have a really bad effect on my hair, but I'll talk about that later. This was the year I took some of my favorite pictures on my Instagram pages. I added the code in there so that you could follow me if you want. During year 4, I got these beautiful braids installed, and I already told you braids and I had never really got along, but I love them so much that I keep going back. In this particular instance, my braider had detangled my blown out hair with a rat tail comb, and I knew it wasn't what she should have been doing, but I was too nice to say anything. I was just like, make sure you're not breaking my hair too much. She's like, oh no, it's not breaking that. It's not breaking like that. And I believed her. But after I unbraided my hair, it began to look a lot different than it did before getting the braids. And if you need a side-by-side, here is a twist out from May of 2020 before I got the braids. You could definitely see something ain't right. For any new natural out there, just know that the way that your hair curls up after your wash day or after you styled it is a big indicator on the health of your hair and whether you need a trim. I got my second silk press and trim in February of 2021, and she did have to cut off a lot of hair. I felt like I was starting back at square one. That brings us to the present, year 5, and I'm focused more on the length aspect of the journey now. I got another silk press in June of 2021. I want to commit to getting at least 3 silk presses a year rather than just one. I feel like I know what I have to do with my natural hair in terms of health, and I want to focus on seeing the fruits of my labor in the length of my hair. So that's the goal for the end of year 5. Don't judge me, but I decided to get braids again in July of 2021. But I feel like this time around it was better. I did what I had to do. I made sure I blew my hair out almost straight so the braider would have no issue with detangling. And yeah, I told you I couldn't resist. And here is the most recent video that I've taken. This was after the braids, and as you could see, the thickness is still there, health is still there, and I can tell you that my curls are still intact and healthy. So I am content, and that's all I really have to share in this video. But be sure to subscribe so that you can keep up with my hair journey. If you made it this far, you already know the drill. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with somebody that would be interested, and I will just catch you in the next video. Bye.